go, hey, it's me, Joe. Here we are. Big Brother 22 is right around the corner. And so, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's talk about the rumors. Let's see who's in the cast. Let's see how I think they're going to fare. Obviously, I'm a Big Brother fan. Clearly, I've got a whole wall. Zing bought my keys from whenever I did an open casting call that, I've tried 6 times and they still won't put me on the show. But that is okay. Because one day it will happen. One day it'll happen. So let's look at the cast. Okay, so here's the rumored cast for Big Brother 22 All-Stars number 2. Now, as you can see, we've got a lot of good people up here. I ain't mad at it for the most part, okay? There are some questionable decisions, but we're going to get to those. So let's just start up here at the top with Miss Bailey Dayton. I didn't watch Big Brother 20 all the way through. So I don't have a good impression of how she's going to play the game, and I don't watch the challenges, so I don't know how she did on the challenge on MTV with Swaggy and all of them. She lives in Lee Summit, which is like 20 minutes down the road, so I guess I root for a local girl. However, I don't know. I really don't know what to expect from her this season. I know that she got into an argument with Tyler back on her season. Bloody mouths were involved. But I don't know what the relationship is like now. So I don't know what's going to happen. So let's just skip to Miss Christmas Abbott next. Now, this Christmas is definitely the gift that nobody asked for. I don't quite know why she was brought back this season. I don't understand the casting choice. I hope that she's the first boot to just give everybody else more of a free ride because she doesn't belong there, my opinions. Next, we've got Cody Calafiore, part of the Hitman Alliance in Big Brother 16 with Derek, made it all the way to the final 2. His brother then played later on in season 18. People underestimated Cody, in my opinion, I think. I think Derek took a lot of the credit since he won season 16, but Cody was right there with him. So it'll be interesting to see him brought back. I'm not mad about that one. And then if we come over here, we got Miss Davon, and from 17 and 18. She's probably one of my favorite females of all time because she gives the viewers and the feedsters what we want. Lots of drama. I love it. Best strategist? Probably not. Probably not. But she's played Big Brother twice now. This will be her 3rd go. She's played the challenge a couple of times. So I think that in this part of her life, she'll be better at not acting impulsively like she was before, keeping her mouth a little bit quieter so that way her strategy doesn't get blown up. I think that Davon's a good contender this season. I do. Next one up is Miss Danielle Donato. Originally played in season 8, found number 2 with her dad Dick. She played in season 13, the dynamic duos twist, which kind of screwed her over, to be honest, because she got bored, as she put it, and then she started making moves that maybe she shouldn't have. So this will be her 3rd time coming back, and I'm excited to see her play again. She's always a good one. She makes the big moves. She's not afraid to go after who the house doesn't probably want to go after. She's a fan favorite. She kind of reminds me of Netta from Big Brother Canada 2 and 5, in the sense the last time she played, America gave her this power essentially. When Dick left, she got a golden key, which kept her tied up the whole first half of the summer. And she got bored, and she started acting messy. But now she's coming back. She's a mother. She got married to Dominic from her season 13. And I think that she could do well. Again, yep, I'm hoping that she makes it deep into the game. If we come over here, next one is David. I gotta be honest. I didn't watch season 21 except for the first episode. So I don't know anything about David besides he was the first boot. So I don't know how he's going to play it all. And I mean, if we're speaking frank to frank, I wish the first boot that would have got brought back was Jody from Big Brother 14. She got a raw deal with Dan kicking her out. They brought her back a couple of different times on like little challenge things. Here, you get to be a token or whatever it is. I would have liked to have seen her play the game again. Yep. So, David, I don't know anything about David. Next one is Enzo. Enzo played season 12. He was part of the Brigade Alliance, made final 3 before getting cut at the end. I wasn't a huge Meow Meow fan when he played back 10 years ago. But, I mean, his strategy was really good. And people wound up stealing it from both Big Brother US and Big Brother Canada several times that helped them get to the end. So, I mean, he's got a strategic point that way. He's not my biggest Big Brother person, so it is what it is. Next one is Ian. He won season 14 of Big Brother, the coaches season, when Janelle, Brittany, Mike Boogie, and Dan all came back into the game to lead as coaches. I liked Ian. I liked when he kicked Boogie out and he used Boogie's lines against him. That was good. He was entertaining. He was in danger at the very beginning of season 14, if I remember, because he was rubbing people the wrong way, being this little nerdy guy. But he finally got his feet under him, and he made it to the end. He won when he had to. He made the alliances he had to, even though the Quack Pack was the stupidest fucking name I've ever heard. He made it. He did. And then he took Dan and he beat Dan. Do I think it was a bitter jury? Yes. Do I think that Dan should have won season 14? Probably so. So, we'll see how Ian fares up this time. Next up is Janelle. Probably the Big Brother queen of this series. She played in 6, 7, and 14, so this will now be her 4th time back. I stand Janelle. Janelle has given us iconic moments for the last 15 years. Just anything. Her competition wins, the arguments that she's gotten into, the fights that she's yelled at people at. She is iconic, honey. So I'm really excited to see her play again. She's also played The Amazing Race with Brittany. So I think this probably will be the rest of her Big Brother, CBS Survivor, reality kind of lifespan. So I'm excited to see her play one more time. I think she's going to be one of the biggest threats going in, but she's also 15 years older than she was when she first played. So we'll see what happens. Next up is Kaser. What up, Kaser? Right, if you are a longtime fan of Big Brother, you know that. So he played in season 6 and season 7 All-Stars, number 1. And the probably most memorable thing about Kaser was the pressure cooker challenge, HOH, whenever he dropped out, let Jennifer win, and then got backdoored. So he was evicted 3 times within 2 seasons. He never made jury, but it has been 15 years since we've seen Kaser play. So I don't know what kind of dynamic he's going to bring to the game this time. Obviously, he and Janelle are going to be close, I would imagine. But I don't know what kind of connections he has otherwise. So I'm very excited to actually see Kaser play live instead of just watching the reruns on CBS All Access. Next up is Keisha Smith. Another one of my favorite females from Big Brother. Probably the most iconic part of Keisha's run on Big Brother 10. She was with Dan that time, but her birthday celebration. You have the big blow up, April's HOH, Keisha's in the bedroom, Jesse goes, starts the drama. April goes down, they all just start yelling at each other. Libra grabs a knife and she's like, who wants cake? Who wants cake? And then everybody's like, Keisha, calm down, you know it's your birthday, we gotta have, I don't give a fuck. Iconic. If you haven't seen it, I'd suggest you look it up. Probably on YouTube someplace. So we haven't seen her play in 12 years or so, and I've always wanted them to bring her back. I'm surprised that they did bring her back finally, because she wasn't rumored to be on the cast until just about a week ago, when she hypothetically replaced somebody else. So I'm excited to see Keisha. Very excited. I don't know her connections, but I'm going to hope for the best. Next up over here is Kevin Campbell, Big Brother 11. He made Final 3, got kicked out by Jordan at the end. Arguably, he would have won this season had he made Final 2. I liked Kevin his season. I did. I didn't like his alliance, but I found him to be entertaining. He wasn't afraid to get into fights, to buck up to people if they needed to. He put you in your place if he needed to, but he was a good character on TV. So I'm excited to see Kevin. I'm surprised that they're bringing him back. Again, I don't mind that they're bringing him back. I would have wanted to see him play again, but I don't know how he's going to fare. Next up is Memphis, Dan's Renegade member from season 10. Made final 2 with Dan after cutting Keisha at the final 4, keeping the 75-year-old Jerry in the house so they could beat him. So we haven't seen Memphis in 12 years either. I think he made one sporadic little appearance on season 14, maybe, with Dan coming back. But we haven't seen him in 12 years. I have no idea where he stands nowadays. I wasn't a big Memphis fan. Oh, and Keisha's birthday actually helped save him because it was him and Jesse up on the block. And Jesse was running around acting a fool. And then Libra, after the whole cake thing, Libra went up to Memphis and said something like, it only takes a day to switch things around in here. And so he wound up staying and then making it for the long haul. So I'm not sure where he's going to fall. I could see him being a pre-jury boot, and I wouldn't be mad at that. So there's Memphis. But with Dan, I don't know. We're going to talk about connections here in a second. Nicole Anthony is also from Big Brother 21 David's season. Like I said, I didn't watch her season besides the first episode. I know that she made Final 3. I know she was America's favorite. So the fans loved her, but I don't know anything else besides that about her. So I know that I'm probably going to like her more than Nicole F., our second to last contestant. Nicole Franzel played Big Brother 16, Big Brother 18, and won. And then she went to The Amazing Race with her not showmance on Big Brother 18, Victor, who's now her husband, and they, have a podcast, all that to do. So now she's come back for her third time. The preseason rumors involving Nicole, they are wild, honey. There's this rumor going around that Nicole, Dan, and Derek were all in a group chat, and that Nicole told production that Derek and Dan were pre-gaming with each other, so that kicked them off the show. Do I believe that? Absolutely fucking not. You can't tell me that CBS is going to kick Dan and Derek off for pre-gaming. I don't believe that at all. But if you go on Twitter or Facebook, wherever you want to go, and look at Big Brother 22 rumors, I can almost guarantee you will see something that's like, Nicole is the reason for COVID. Nicole is the reason that Big Brother Canada 8 got shut down. Nicole is the reason that, fill in the blank. She is the reason for all the problems in the world. I don't know how she's going to fare this season because I don't know how messy she's going to play. I liked her in 16. 18, I wasn't as much of a fan. There was other people I liked better. So I don't really know. I don't know how she's going to do, really. And then our last contestant over here, our last house guest of the season, rumored, is Tyler Crispin. Like with Bailey, he was on season 20. I only watched about half of it, so I don't really know his full gameplay. However, I have heard that it's one of the best recent games that we've seen. He made Final 2. Didn't win. Jury management, I heard, wasn't a great thing for him, so he wound up losing. But I expected him to come back at some point. I'm not surprised that CBS is having him back. I think an all-star season is great, so I'm excited to actually watch him play on this season. So now that we've got our cast, let's talk about the connections that each one of these may or may not have. So Bailey is obviously connected to Tyler because they were on the same season. Bailey, beyond that, she had a mirroring season with Nicole, so they would have been close together. She has a challenge relationship with Day. While they haven't been on the same season, they both have competed on the challenge, so I think that they may be able to work together in that respect. But beyond that, I don't know where else Bailey goes. Christmas, we're going to skip right over her, because I don't care to talk to her. Next up is Cody. Cody has a connection with Nicole. They played the same season together. I would imagine that he might have a connection with Janelle. with as close as, well, with as good as Derek has been. I don't know. I don't know where he falls with Janelle, honestly. But he also has a connection with Davon, because Davon has played with Cody's brother on Big Brother 18, plus they've both played on the challenge together. So I think that Cody could get in with Davon maybe somewhat easy. But I also kind of think Cody's going to be a pre-juror boot this season. And I wouldn't be mad at that. So, Davon's an interesting one. She's going to fit into this with a lot of different people, I imagine. I feel Davon, Danny, Janelle, Keisha potentially, maybe Nicole, maybe Bailey. I feel like we could get a real solid all-female alliance at this point if they actually stuck to it. Davon has normally been a pro-female, especially pro-black female proponent in the game, and she wants the females to go furthest. In Big Brother 18, they had the Fatal 5 alliance with the 5 girls that didn't work out because Nicole and Davon just couldn't trust each other. That's what it boiled down to. So I really hope that we get a good female alliance this time, and I think that Davon could be the leader of that. Obviously, she connects to Nicole. They played Big Brother 18 together. Their relationship was kind of tumultuous, and I mean, it wound up being Nicole helped get Davon out of the house. So bitter feelings, I'm not sure what are there still, but I think that could be a problem with the two of them. I see Davon and Bailey working together. But other than that, I feel like Davon has a good spot in the house where she can just go with the flow this time. I don't feel like she's going to be the main target for anybody starting off. I think that she's definitely going to make it to at least jury. But I hope that she goes deep in the game. I'd like to see her at least make Final 5. If not win the whole thing. I'd really like to see that. Next up is Danny. Danny's been on since Big Brother 8, so she has connections to a lot of people, especially given who her father is, and just the community that she's been a part of for so long. So she is obviously connected to Janelle. They've had history with each other. They haven't played on the same season, but I know that they're friendly outside of the house. She has connections with Nicole. For some strange reason, in season 19, I think it was, Victor and Nicole came back for some marriage proposal thing, and Danielle was a part of that. But from what everybody is saying is they brought in the other people like Danielle as a you don't know what you're doing kind of thing, and then just sprung Nicole and Victor's engagement on them. So I think Nicole and Danielle could work together. I feel Danielle and Keisha could work together. Other than that, I don't know that she has any real strong bonds. I know from what the Twitter sphere has said, Danielle was not necessarily a fan of Tyler in his original season, so that could come back to bite her maybe. But I think, again, if she can get past the first week or two and not be seen as such a threat, that she's going to go far into the game. David and Nicole Anthony are connected from the same season. Other than that, I don't know what his connections are. Same with Enzo. We haven't seen Enzo in such a long time. And I don't follow him, so I don't know really where he stands with anybody. So, yeah, I think Enzo could be a wild card this season. He could be that extra number that somebody needs for a vote, or he may just create a whole new alliance. I don't know. So we'll see what happens with Enzo. Ian, I think, is in one of the most interesting positions. He played with Janelle and beat her in season 14, but he also was part of the new Renegades with Dan that made it all the way to the final 2. So essentially, Ian was Memphis 2.0. So Memphis and Ian have that connection with Dan, and I don't know if it's going to work out in his favor, if they're going to work together and try to be another version of the Renegades, if they're going to steer clear. I can imagine that Dan has helped them pre-game together. So it might be interesting seeing an Ian-Memphis relationship, but then at the same point with him already working with Dan, and that makes him aligned with, or maybe not aligned, but he has connections to Keisha at that point, because Keisha got slighted by both Memphis and Dan in Big Brother 10. So that could be a reason for why they gain up together and align and get Memphis out. Other than that, I think Ian has a good relationship with Nicole. He wound up kind of steering in a more professional direction after Big Brother. He got like some college job, and so I don't really know where he stands. I haven't followed too much of him lately. So Janelle, I think, has the most connections just because she's played the longest. So she and Kaser both played Big Brother 6 and Big Brother 7 All-Stars together. I would imagine that the two of them go in together and align immediately. I think that's a no-brainer. I think it might hurt them because they're going to be seen as a duo. And the thing with Janelle is, while she was winning comps in 7 and 6, Kaser always seemed to be the biggest target out of the two of them those seasons. I don't think that that's going to be the case this time because Kaser's been out for so long. So I think that if Janelle and Kaser are up on the block together, hypothetically, I think Janelle goes over Kaser for the first time. Janelle also has connections to Danielle through Danielle's dad. I know that she has connections to Nicole from their stint on The Amazing Race. I don't know that Janelle and Nicole have such a great relationship. From what Alyssa and Rachel have said, Nicole kind of burned some Big Brother bridges on The Amazing Race, so that could come back to haunt her. She also has connections. She was on season 11 at the very finale, where she was talking about the final three with Julie, and Dick, Danielle Reyes, and Mike Boogie, I believe, were also there with her. So I don't know if she knows Kevin, but she made a cameo appearance on Big Brother 11. I feel like Janelle may be in the safest position, just being the icon that she is. But that could also make her a threat, and I would hope that she would make at least jury this time. She made Final 3 in both 6 and 7, and then she was kicked off before jury in season 14. Partly due to Ian's doing with the Quack Pack. So we'll see how Janelle does this time. Kaser has been gone for so long, the only person that I see him connected to immediately is Janelle. But I'm excited to see what Kaser can bring to the table this time since he hasn't played in 15 years. Keisha, like we've talked about, is connected to Memphis and Ian via Dan. We also saw a picture from the Big Brother 20 premiere where she and Davon were friendly with each other. I don't know if it goes beyond that meeting or what their relationship is like, but even seeing that friendly face, I think will give Keisha more of a hope. As much as I want Keisha to succeed, I think that she is in one of the most vulnerable positions going in, only because it's been 12 years. I don't think that she has the connections that some of the other people will have. So I think that she needs to make as many friends as possible going out, stay under the radar, and then let the second half become her shining moment. So besides that, I don't really think that she's connected to anybody, but I hope that she goes far. Kevin is kind of the same way. I haven't seen Kevin in 11 years. I don't really keep up with him all that much, so I don't know what his relationship is with a lot of people. I know that he's done an interview with Danielle whenever he was on some pop sugar talk show thing with Lydia from season 11. But he's kind of stayed mum. So Memphis, I think, is the same way, since he's part of the old school. He really only connects to Ian and Keisha via Dan. Nicole connects to David, obviously. Nicole A. connects to David from the same season. She's also America's favorite. We've seen her just last year. So I think that she could... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about her. I don't know anything about her game, so that's the problem. I didn't watch 21. Sorry. And for those of you that did watch 21, I'm even more sorry. Nicole Franzel, I think she's going to come in with a good amount of enemies, possibly in Janelle. And if she has Janelle against her, Janelle will be able to turn other people against her. I also don't know that Davon is going to be the biggest fan of her, given what happened in 18. Granted, Davon was the deciding vote for Nicole winning season 18 and beating Paul on the 5-4. So at least they have that connection, maybe. Maybe they can at least put it together or put it past themselves for the first half of the game, get to jury, and then kind of split up and go from there. I hope that... I wouldn't be sad to lose Nicole early. It is what it is. And then Tyler and Bailey obviously have the connection from their season. Other than that, I don't really know what Tyler's connections are because I haven't kept up with him or didn't watch season 20. So The thing I like about this cast, though, is it seems like it's half new school, half old school. So the new school people, you've got Bailey, Christmas, Cody, Davon, David, and then you've got, who else do we have? Nicole Anthony, Nicole Franzel, and Tyler. Old school, you've got Danny Donato, Enzo, Ian, Janelle, Kaser, Keisha, Kevin, and Memphis. So we have kind of that old school, new school, maybe tribal lines that we saw in Survivor Winners at War, where all the old school went up first. I don't think that's going to be the case this time around, because Survivor is such a different game than Big Brother, but we've got that season. I also think it's like a season of redemption, where a lot of these people go in and have something to prove, with Danielle making Final 2, Tyler making Final 2, Nicole making Final 3, Janelle having made Final 3 several times, Keisha was at 4, Enzo was at Final 3, Memphis made Final 2, Kevin made Final 3, David was the first boot, so he has more to prove as a reason as to what game he could have played. Davon has that redemption series of I've learned, I've changed, and I'm going to make a better game. Cody made Final 2 and probably, well, arguably made one of the worst moves in Big Brother by taking Derek instead of Victoria. Because had he taken Victoria, he would have walked out the winner and $500,000 richer. Christmas, I think the only thing that I can say that she's going to redeem is maybe not breaking her foot just a couple weeks in and then walking in a boot all fucking season. But I don't know. I don't know her story. And I don't care about her. So maybe a redemption, second chance, third chance, fourth chance in Janelle's kind of position. But I think this is a good cast overall. I'm very excited to see what happens on premiere night. There's supposed to be some live walk-in. We're only going to see the cast officially revealed then. So Wednesday, August 5th, that's going to be a good day. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Yay!